Yo, what up everybody, YaBoyRoshi here. I know it has been quite some time since I've done a manga review, but did you think that I really wasn't about to talk about all this heat that's been going on? Hori has been in his bag for the past several chapters, and it's just astonishing. That's the only word I can use to describe what's been transpiring in the world of My Hero Academia. But before we begin, I have to let you guys know today's video is sponsored by
these motherfucking nuts, bro.
What the fuck y'all thought I was gonna say? Rain Shadow Legends? So let's jump into the chapter. First, I want to talk about my man Twice, right? RIP my man Twice. That hurt. That was a death that hurt me, and I'm pretty sure it hurt a lot of the fan base as well. He was a villain that we all loved, and that is a testament to how great the character was written. He was written for you to sympathize with him and grow to love him, only for Kohei to murder him. Now, it's interesting because when the whole Redestro arc happened and, you know, Twice got his upgrade and the Sad Man's Parade and became completely unstoppable, I remember doing my manga review, which is no longer up thanks to Sueisha, but I did my manga review and I mentioned that at that point Twice had become completely OP. He was overpowered, it was cheap, he had become the strongest person in the league, right? And obviously Koei knows this, and as well as the characters in the series that are around him understand this. So Hawks also understood how much of a threat Twice had become, so he was trying to turn Twice to the side of the good. But the kind of person that Twice is, he's a ride or die. So he wanted to stick around with the people that had been there for him and pulled him out of the darkness. So he didn't care if these were good people or if these were bad people, you know, in their actions, because they were good to him as a person. And he loved being around them. They were his friends. So he prioritized his friends over all this other bullshit. So, you know, you can say what's good and what's bad. He didn't really give a fuck. He just wanted to ride for his people. And that is real, man. He was such a great character. And, you know, I know that you could tell that it hurt Hawks. You know, he had to do what he had to do. Dabi showed up. So, by the way, I just want to say, all of this is pretty much solidifying the fact that Dabi is Toya Todoroki, but we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. So, back to the chapter where Dabi was, you know, when Cementos was fucking up the whole building and Dabi was on his way to Hawks and Twice. It's like he knew what the fuck was going on, right? So, in this whole situation, Dabi is fighting off Hawks and singeing all of his wings. And I like how this lined up with the Endeavor episode, because the same thing was going on when Hawks was sending his feathers to assist Endeavor. You saw he was saying how his feathers were burning, and, you know, he's also mentioned that fire is his biggest weakness, right? So this is, all in all, this has been masterfully crafted, like from the anime side and the manga side, to line everything up. And Koei knows what he's doing. All of this is on purpose. This is not coincidental. So this is all according to plan, right? So Dabi, the reason why Twice had to die, man, Dabi, I don't know if you guys realize this, but when Dabi sent Twice off, he's like, yo, there's some heroes down there. You should be more than enough to take care of them. Twice was literally about to activate Sad Man's Parade and go fuck everybody up. He had to be killed. Otherwise, he would have overrun the heroes and it would have been a wrap. That's how much of a problem this guy Twice was, man. That even the good guys wanted him. It's like, yo, we need this guy. Now, here we are at this latest chapter. This man Dabi is the biggest piece of shit ever. He did not give a rat's ass about Twice. He did not care. That is the big shocker. The whole time I'm like, oh man, Dabi's about to turn up on Hawks and cook his ass. He doesn't care. He really doesn't care. He's following Stain's will. I'm gonna go into that a little bit more, like, very soon. But he called out Hawks by name, right? So all of this is solidifying the fact that he's Toya Todoroki. Now, as far as Toya Todoroki goes, we don't know much about his past at all. We just know that he's dead, right? We know that he's dead. We know that his flames were stronger than Endeavor's. He inherited his mother's weak constitution, but we don't know much about his background, right? So he calls out Hawks by his real name. Hawks is like, how the fuck do you know my real name? Hawks has a flashback, remembering, we all know now that Hawks was trained from a child to be this superhero. He's Black Ops, Anbu, like super top secret level shit, right? They told him, you have to get rid of your name. You will be shedding that name from today on, right? So that was when he was a little boy. Now, keep in mind, Hawks and Dabi are around the same age. Hawks is 22, I believe, and Dabi, they haven't confirmed his age, but speculation has been that Dabi is in his early 20s. All right, let's hold that. So here is my theory. He knew Hawks' name because they were both in the same program to become these, you know, high-level heroes. They were involved in the same program, and it kind of makes sense because when you're a child, yeah, they told you you're gonna shed your name, but if you make a really good friend, so he probably became really good friends with Toya when they were children in this program and told him, hey, this is my name. And there's even more foreshadowing of it because with Hawks, he's holding the little Endeavor figure. He's holding it really close. He wants to be a hero like Endeavor. All of this shit is just lining up, man. Also, to add fuel to that theory as well, let's also remember that Dabi mentioned to Hawks that he never believed anything that he said. Hawks like, when'd you figure out? He's like, oh, that's easy. I never believed you whatsoever. So if you kind of put two and two together, it would kind of, you know, add a little bit of fire onto my theory that they were both a part of this little program to become top flight security in the world. And that is because they probably went through the same exact training, and he probably recognized certain things that Hawks was doing to get close to the league, to infiltrate and go undercover. So he probably realized from the start, yo, this guy's bullshitting. And he's like, he's bullshitting because I know him, and I know when we were kids, we were friends. I know what he's about. So all of that is just lining up very perfectly. On top of the fact that they gave us the Kill Bill treatment when Dabi walked up and told Hawks who he was, he blacked out the bubble. He blacked out the bubble. That's so disrespectful. That is one of the hardest things I've ever seen done in a manga. All it was a black bubble, y'all. Why was that so fire? He was like, oh, who are you? He hit him with that Kill Bill treatment, just bleeped out his name. We know he's Toya, bro. Kohei knows we know it's Toya. He's just toying with us at this point. This is crazy. This whole situation is just amazing. But now, Hawks is in quite the pickle because Dabi is his biggest weakness, right? So now we have Tokoyami jumping into the rescue. So this is the fight that we didn't know that we wanted, but we actually do want. Tokoyami versus Dabi? This is gonna be crazy. Is Tokoyami even ready for this? Is he ready? Do y'all think he's ready? I have no idea. This is gonna be fucking crazy. So back to Dabi, one last thing around on this, right? So Dabi, he's another follower of Stain, which is revealed. You know, he wants to accomplish Stain's goal. He doesn't believe in that there are any real heroes. Why would Dabi feel this way? You know, it makes you think. It goes back to the whole Toya Todoroki, the stuff that his father put him through. His father is supposed to be a hero, but yet, look what you're doing to your family. You're destroying your entire family. So that kind of makes sense why he feels that way. So everything is lining up great, man, but it's crazy the fact that Dabi is actually, he doesn't give a fuck about anybody in the league. He's just doing his own thing. I think the person who's going to take Twice's death the hardest is going to be Toga. So that, yeah, that's going to be, we're going to see her rage in a little bit. But moving on, Mirko is still facing off with these high-end Nomu. This is crazy. Yo, a lot of people have been saying she's the real #1 hero. She's been going up with all these Nomu, putting in this work, giving them these thighs. Yo, I am so hyped about what has been going on. You know, she's foreshadowing her death. She's like, yo, before I die, I gotta make sure that, you know, I at least do something epic. She's going to go and break the tank that Shigaraki is in. The doctor's freaking out. The other Nomu are like, yo, this is not going down. And then one of the high-end Nomu attacks her with whatever the fuck that was, takes out one of her legs, but Endeavor to the rescue. Endeavor has showed up and crushed that Nomu, and the chapter ends with her kick supposedly going through to bust open Shigaraki's tank. Lord Jesus, what is about to go down? They are about to mutilate our girl Mirko next chapter because I don't see this doesn't bode well for her, to be honest, because Shigaraki is most likely going to be complete and fuck shit up. And a lot of people are probably going to begin to die. But these chapters have been crazy. The artwork has been off the chain. Kohei's in his bag. I take back what I said about Hawks. You guys know I thought that Hawks is still hiding something, but fuck it, man. After this chapter, I take it back. But this is crazy. There's just so much madness and chaos going on right now. How could you possibly hate on My Hero? This is quite possibly the best thing going right now in Shonen Jump. So I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? How do you guys feel? What do you think about the Dabi and Hawks connection? Do you think it's something different than what I said? I'm curious. Let's go ahead and talk about it. But as always, guys, like, subscribe, follow me on all my socials at YaBoyRoshi, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Check out the merch link to that down below, and consider becoming a patron if you'd like. I'd greatly appreciate it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you guys next time.